After over a decade of silence, Final Destination, Bloodlines marks the chilling return of a franchise that built its legacy on inevitability, that death is the only way out. From its opening moments, the film reinstates the franchise's signature tone: bleak, eerie, and ominously patient. Death isn't just a threat, it's a presence, a force. An unseen entity always lurks in the background, waiting for the smallest slip, the most mundane moment, to turn into a fatal catastrophe. This time, the story follows Stefanie Reyes, a college student haunted by visions of a 1969 disaster involving her grandmother, tying the curse to her bloodline. This narrative twist adds generational weight and emotional depth that earlier entries only hinted at. The horror doesn't just live in the visual carnage, it's the psychological dread of knowing what's coming and being helpless to stop it. If you're here for the kills, rest easy. Bloodlines doesn't disappoint. The franchise has always been infamous for its creatively twisted death scenes, and this entry may be its most sadistic yet. Without spoiling anything, the film takes ordinary, everyday items and turns them into instruments of slow-building terror. The brilliance lies in the misdirection. Each death scene teases the audience with multiple possible outcomes before striking in the least expected and most brutal way. These deaths aren't quick. They're constructed like slow-burning fuse boxes, loaded with suspense, anxiety, and a dash of morbid humor. You can feel the filmmakers deliberately baiting the audience's expectations, and when death finally acts, it's as if the environment itself becomes the killer. The performances are surprisingly solid for a franchise often driven by its concept more than its characters. Kaitlyn Santa Juana is compelling as Stefanie, balancing fear, determination, and vulnerability. She grounds the story emotionally, making the horror feel personal rather than just mechanical. Anna Lore, Max Lloyd-Jones, and Teo Briones all bring authenticity to their roles, giving the group dynamic a realism that makes you care, just enough for when things inevitably unravel. Richard Harmon adds a sarcastic edge, serving as a quasi-antagonist you both want to slap and root for. And Tony Todd, as the ever-cryptic William Bloodworth, returns for a final haunting appearance that delivers franchise lore and closure in equal measure. Audiences and critics alike have praised Bloodlines as one of the strongest entries in the series. It strikes a balance between homage and evolution. Longtime fans will appreciate the return of Rube Goldberg-style deaths and the oppressive tone, while newcomers can jump in without much prior knowledge. What stands out most is the film's self-awareness. It knows what it is, a stylish, smartly twisted ride, and never tries to be more than that. But what it does try to be, it excels at. The pacing is tight, the kills are brutal, and the tension rarely lets up. Thematically, the idea of generational doom and fate adds a layer of tragedy that elevates Bloodlines beyond a simple gore-fest status. It's grim, it's suspenseful, and it's deeply fun in the darkest way possible. Final Destination, Bloodlines is a gleefully sinister return to form that honors the franchise's legacy while pushing it into more mature territory. With shocking kills, suspenseful sequences, and a meaningful twist on the original formula, it's easily one of the best entries to date. If you're a fan of inventive horror that makes you fear the ordinary, Bloodlines delivers. And then some. Final rating, 8.5 out of 10.